of the St. Benedict Episcopal Church at 2160 Cooper Lake Road, who will come forward at this time and give the invocation and also lead us in the pledge to the flag. Would everyone please rise?
Let us pray. Dear God, we give you thanks for all the freedoms that you have bestowed upon us as citizens of your kingdom. We ask that you help use those freedoms to create this beautiful city that we live and work, and for the freedoms that allowed us to elect these representatives here before us. We ask that you guide all of our minds and our hearts and open our ears to hear your will in all that is being discussed, decided, and voted upon tonight. All this we ask in your glorious name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And for those folks maybe new to the town or want to try this St. Benedict's Episcopal Church, it's at 2160 Cooper Lake Road. I'm sure they'd be glad to have you. They're, like all our churches, a big part of our community. Item 2 is agenda changes, and we've got item 7C under formal business will be withdrawn at the request of the applicant, and that was a public hearing authorization request for a name change only. That's going to be withdrawn. We have an item that's going to be added to the agenda, which will be 7F, and I'm going to entertain a motion to suspend the rules for the purpose of adding an item to the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of the motion say aye. Or vote, I'm sorry. I had a flashback. Did that go through? That's approved 7-0 now. Entertain a motion to add whatever item you got to add, Ms. Nulowich, to the agenda.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I would like to move to add item 7F to the agenda. That is going to be the appointment of Keith Bentley to the Smyrna Parks and Recreation Commission for a term to expire in December of 2017.
Second.
Motion is second to add this to the consent agenda. All those in favor of the motion, please vote. That's approved 7-0. So that's, and when we get to the consent agenda, that is 7F. That's formal business.
Formal
That's
business.
formal business. That's correct. Thank you. Okay. Under the mayoral reports, before we do a little presentation on the birthday celebration that we had, I know there's at least one candidate out there that's running for office, and I'm going to give you an opportunity at this time to come forward and tell us who you are and what office that you're running for. And I wouldn't go. Yeah, unless there's any other, if there's any other candidates that are running for the, I guess it's a special election. But no, you're good. Not yet. So go ahead. No, go. You go.
Oh, right here to you guys?
Oh yeah. You can just tell us who you are. This is free airtime, baby.
I got you. My name is Matt Bentley. I'm running for State Senate District 6, which is Cobb and Fulton, and encompasses Marietta, Smyrna, Vinings, Buckhead. I've lived in that district nearly my entire life. I went to Emory Law School. I now work as an attorney in Marietta, Georgia, with my family firm, and my dad's here with me, so I'm sure a lot of you know him pretty well, but
Too well.
Would love for your vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. So that was perfect. If you did do that, you got your name out there quick, and it's unlike your father, who, if it was him, he would be going on and on and on. But it is good to see. No, it is good to see Fred Bentley here. Really,
It's good to see, and I just came to recite a point.
No, you're not. Time's up. Thank- Yeah, well, it's terrible. That's too much of a flashback. Thank y'all both for being here. Under the mayor's report, I think we got a quick slideshow. Our birthday celebration was Saturday night, and I think they estimated about 20,000 people were down here. It was absolutely perfect. What a great community that we have, and so many people and families were here. While they're pulling up this quick slideshow, I want to take an opportunity to thank our sponsors. First of all, to thank Banks and Shane and Tim Purcell and the Mustangs. Banks and Shane was here for like the 20-something consecutive year. But our sponsors for this were Advanced Disposal, Gas South, Linda Baker and Associates Realtor, McIntyre Bakery, which again, they are the best bakery in the world. I can just drive by there and gain 6 to 8 pounds. They did our birthday cake, and it's just, they're fabulous. Primrose School of Smyrna West, Orange Theory Fitness, and the Marietta Daily Journal, those were our sponsors. And I have not seen this. Are you ready to hit it?
I'm ready.
Hit it, and let's see what happens. This is just a quick little thing. I hope it's not too much. So that we're 145 years, and this just shows you how many people were really there. It's just unbelievable. Campbell High football team was there, and there was dancing and giggling, and everybody was having fun. And this was great. This is what our community is all about. And that's it, isn't it?
Hold on, it's gonna play.
Gonna play? Click for more. Look at that. And this, it looks like a lot, but you can go down into the fireworks place and get the same stuff and do this in your backyard, unfortunately, so. I don't know, it's pretty close. I've had people in my backyard doing it. I mean, my neighbors, which was, this was nice. And it really wasn't that much. For those that get a water bill, there'll be a small little charge at the foot of the water bill to help cover the costs. So we do this every year, and this is, to me, this is part, and we say it a lot, this is an amenity. I think this is what Smyrna's all about, that we can provide entertainment for our citizens like this. And I did not hear one person say they didn't have a good time. Look at this, that's amazing. We're getting close to it. Thank you, Heather, for doing that. Thank you. And again, thanks to our sponsors. It turned out good. And to the staff, I don't know if Tammy was gonna, you wanna mention the staff?
Sure, I want to make sure we thank our staff from the
Thank you,
Community Relations Department, Parks and Recreation, Fire, Police, and Public Works.
Yep. This is something that Jennifer Bennett works just about year-round on, and it turned out great. So thank you. Thanks so much. Okay, we're going to get into the regular part of the agenda. Item 4 is department head reports. We don't have anything for that, do we, Tammy? No. Item 5 is land issues, zonings, and annexations. We have nothing, which is sort of kind of good. Item 6, previous license. We have none. 7 is formal business. A is 2017-285, adoption of the 2017 millage rate at 8.99 mils. Ms. Tammy Sadler-Jones, you please give us the background.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The FY18 budget that was approved by the City Council included revenue projections based on 8.99 mils, and this is the formal adoption of the 8.99 millage rate. We've had the same millage rate since 2007. The official notice and all required information was posted in the Marietta Daily Journal newspaper on July 24th and July 31st. Required public meetings were held on July 31st at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. and on August 7th at 10 a.m. That was the last public meeting. Staff does recommend approval of the 8.99 mils.
Mr. Ron Fennell, who chairs the Finance and Administration Committee. Mr. Fennell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's with pride that I again recommend a no change in the millage rate for now 10 consecutive years for the city of Smyrna. We're growing and we can absorb and grow according to the needs of the new additions that we've added. And so I recommend and move approval of the 2017 millage rate at 8.99 mils.
Second.
Have a motion second to adopt for 2017 the millage rate of 8.99 mils. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please vote. It's approved 7-0. Thank you very much. And I've got it written down and didn't mention it during the mayoral report, so I am going to mention this. For those that watch the Food Network, a Smyrna resident, Rusty Hamlin, who is affiliated with Atkins Park and the Zach Brown Band, made the final three in this new, I don't really know what it's called, but it's the Food Network. He's the master chef. He may even get his own show, but he's a transplant from Louisiana. Just watching him last night, I mean, he's the bomb. He's the one that needs to get the show full time, but we thank him and wish him good luck next week. I believe it comes on at 8 o'clock.
I think that's right, and I'll just add that all the best folks are transplants from Louisiana.
Not all of them, but a lot
In
of
Smyrna.
them. A lot of them. So we are proud for Rusty and his family. And last night, his father passed away about a year ago. He was very emotional about his father and what his father and his mother had meant to him in getting to where he is. But if you've never had Rusty's food, he's absolutely wonderful. So I wanted to mention that. Item B under formal business, 2017-284, authorize the purchase of a playground unit for North Cooper Lake Park for the amount of $46,797.72 paid as a SPLOST expenditure from Compan, a member of the U.S. Committee Government Purchasing Alliance, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute any related documents. Ms. Tammy Sadler-Jones, the background, please.
Our Parks and Recreation Department requests the authorization to purchase a playground unit for North Cooper Lake Park in the amount of $46,797.72. This would be funded through SPLOST Parks Improvement from Compan, a member of the U.S. Communities Government Purchasing Alliance. The purchase will include the installation of several elements that can be used by children of all ages. This playground unit will be made from Robinian wood, and it will be the first of its kind in our park system. Parks and Recreation staff do recommend approval.
I'll ask that Corky Welch, who district this lies in, that he will make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A little bit of background on this besides what Ms. Sadler-Jones reported. We had several citizens come to a committee meeting about roughly a year ago and made a request and an appeal to the council to put some recreation equipment in this North Cooper Lake Park. We had several new subdivisions over the last 3 or 4 years that have gone in, and numerous small children and families in the area, and they felt like it was merited for that area. I agreed with them, and so did the council. And at this point, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the purchase of a playground unit for the North Cooper Lake Park for the amount of $46,797.72, paid as a SPLOST expenditure from Kopman, a member of the U.S. Committee's Government Purchasing Alliance, and to authorize the mayor to sign and execute any related documents.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this purchase. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please vote. That's approved 7-0. Item 7C under formal business is 2017-295 public hearing authorization request, LIC 2017-95 apartment name change, 8 Cumberland Way, Jasmine at Galleria doing business as the Aaron with Zach Foster as the agent. This applicant has requested that this be withdrawn. Mr. Cochran, is there any action we need to take? Okay. Good. It's easy no vote. Okay. Item D, ordinance 2017-1, approval of ordinance 2017-11. Sorry, that was a 2017-11 also. to amend the City Smyrna Code of Ordinances, Chapter 6, Alcoholic Beverage, Section 6-2, definition wine specialty shops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Section 634, types of licenses, 4, Section 37, limitations on use, B, Section 645, consumption on package licensed premises prohibited, Section 6-46, carry in prohibited, B, Section 6-61, hours of operation, B, Section 6-62, Sunday sales permit, A, Section 6-77, growler specialty shops, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, C, and E, Section 618, distance from certain locations, B, 3 and 7, Section 6-124, pouring requirements. Miss Tammy Sadler Jones, the background.
In an effort to have growler specialty shops operate in the same manner as wine specialty shops, several ordinances must be amended. The net effect of these amendments will allow growler specialty shops to sell alcohol beverages to be consumed on-site under certain circumstances, provided that no more than 25% of the shop's gross income is derived from these sales. This is consistent with regulations imposed on wine specialty shops, and staff does recommend approval.
This is under Mr. Doug Stoner, is that correct? Yes, Mr. Doug Stoner's
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
committee.
And just to clarify, this absolutely falls under community development, has nothing to do with my last name, just so I want to make sure. And at this time, I'm going to make a motion that we approve ordinance 2017-11, approval of ordinance 2017-11 to amend the City of Smyrna Code of Ordinances, Chapter 6, alcoholic beverages, Section 6-2, definitions, wine specialty shop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, Section 6-34, types of licenses, 4, Section 6-37, limitations on use, B, Section 6-45, consumptions on package and on package licensed premises prohibited, Section 6-46, carry-in prohibited, B, Section 6-61, hours of operations, B, Section 6-62, Sunday sales permit, A, Section 6-77, growler specialty shop, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, C and E, Section 6-118, distance from certain locations, B, 3 and 7, Section 6-124, pouring requirements.
Have a motion, a second. Is there any discussion? Mr. Cocker, anything you'd like to mention since you wrote this?
I really can't think of much. Tammy pretty much summed it up. This is an effort to make the growler specialty stores operate the same as wine specialty stores. The big difference will be that both of the stores can sell for consumption on premises as long as the gross revenue from that part of the business doesn't exceed 25%. There are requirements in the ordinance revisions for that allows the city to monitor that kind of thing, reporting and that sort of thing.
All right.
A lot of ordinance amendments just to do that one thing, but, you know, it's what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it's an hourly rate thing. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Scott, for, it took him a while to get it done, but we'll make sure we do it right. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion? Let's approve 7-0. Item 7E, Resolution 2017-14, approval of Resolution 2017-14 in support of the city application to the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. Have the mayor sign all related documents. Ms. Jones, the background, please.
The Georgia Initiative for Community Housing is a program organized by the University of Georgia and the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. It is a 3-year program that involves the formation of a community housing team made up of local stakeholders and representatives. The housing team participates in a biannual retreat as well as local facilitated meetings to learn about the housing issues that affect our community and develop ideas and recommendations for the mayor and council to consider. This resolution will be included in the city's application packet to show the mayor and council's formal support in participation of this program. Staff does recommend approval.
Mr. Doug Stoner, who chairs the Community Development Committee. Mr. Stoner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think this is a great thing we're doing in the city. Again, it shows the city is being forward-thinking and being prepared as we move forward on a lot of issues in the community. Wanted to thank Maxwell, one of our new staff folks, who has been bird dogging this issue for us for the last several months. Maxwell, if you got a second, if you mind coming up real quick. And I just wanted to, talk a little bit about what you discovered in this process. I also want to thank Councilman Ron Fennell, because he was also one who suggested we take a look at doing this in assistance with the state. But if you can just do a quick, broad kind of description of what this means for the city over the next 3 years.
Sure. So Tammy kind of spoke to the purpose of the program and how it works. It represents an opportunity for the city to form a team of local stakeholders, representatives, to come together both in local meetings and in these biannual retreats around the state. They're facilitated by UGA and Georgia Power. And it's an opportunity for us to learn from other communities. We get to talk to them about the housing issues that they face, to learn about the issues in our community, both opportunities and potential problems that may arise down the line. So it's really a learning process for the city. Like Tammy mentioned, ideally the team will come up with ideas and recommendations for the city to consider, for the council to consider. And yeah, so it's really, it also helps us create some partnerships with agencies at the state level and some regional agencies. The local meetings will be public meetings, so citizens will be able to attend and speak, at the appropriate time, but they will always be public forums. And we should be hearing, we'll apply at the end of this week, and a decision should be made by October by UGA. So subsequent to that, we'll be able to bring the team together and begin to formulate plans for our first meetings. Then those will be made public. We'll publish them the same way we do with any other public meetings that the city organizes. But that's it.
Well, thank you for bird dogging this issue and going through all the process and everything else, and hopefully our application will be successfully approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to make a motion to approve 7E Resolution 2017-14, approval of Resolution 2017-14 in support of the city's application to the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing, and have the mayor sign all related documents.
Second.
Motion second to approve. All those in favor, is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 7-0. Item 7F is appointment to Parks and Recreation Commission from Ward 3. Ms. Terry Nulowich.
Yes, that is correct. We received a call from Liz Davis this past week. Liz has done a tremendous job representing Ward 3 on the Parks and Recreation Commission for several years now. She needs to free up some time to do other things. Circumstances just aren't allowing her to really give what she wants to give to the commission right now, and she recommended Keith Bentley as a worthy replacement, and I agree wholeheartedly. Keith and his wife Susan, they're a bit of a twofer. When you appoint Keith, you really get Susan also, and they have done a tremendous job working with Steve Siachi when he was head of Parks, working with Richard Garland, who is now the Director of Parks and Recreation, and they've also taken on a lot themselves to improve parks in Ward 3 and throughout the community. They are very active with Keep Smyrna Beautiful. They are very active in the Williams Park Neighborhoods Association, and they are very active and engaged within the city as a whole. And so I think that Keith is going to be a great addition to the Parks Commission. This is going to be to complete this term that ends in December of 2017. And with that, I would like to go ahead and move to appoint Keith Bentley to the Parks and Recreation Commission for a term to expire in December of 2017.
A motion is second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion? This approves 7-0. I hate to lose Liz, but Keith's be a great asset. Item 8 is commercial building permits. We have none. 9 is consent agenda. Ms. Jones, will you please read the consent agenda for council's approval?
The consent agenda reads as follows. Item A, approval of the July 17th, 2017 mayor and council meeting minutes. Item B, approval of the July 17th, 2017 pre-council meeting minutes. Item C, approval of the committee of the whole meeting minutes for Thursday, July 13th, 2017. Item D, approval of revisions to personnel policies and authorize mayor to execute related documents.
Hear a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? It's approved 7-0. Thank you very much. Committee reports is next on the agenda. We'll start tonight with Mr. Ron Finley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to announce that there will be a Finance Committee meeting. We'll post it. We'll at least have the details of the meeting available tomorrow, but it's next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, 2:30 in the afternoon. We're going to discuss a number of items that we've had on the agenda. Also that evening, the Cobb Municipal Association will hold its meeting for August, and it will be at 7 p.m. at the Thread Mill Complex in Austell. And the third item I have, just pause for effect there for those who need that. I am bringing the representative group of the Smyrna Sharks swim team and the Smyrna Blue baseball team, the Little Leaguers who did so well this year. But I'm going to let the school year start, and they tell us at an upcoming meeting when it's most convenient for them to be here. But we want to give proper recognition to both of those fine young squads of team members who represented Smyrna well at the state level. That ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Doug Snower.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank everyone who came out last Wednesday, August 2nd, at Bronner Hall for a town hall meeting I convened concerning the rezoning application on Atlanta Road. It was a generally overall civil meeting. I have to give credit to having nearly 250 people in the same room, how well it went. I think everyone had a chance to ask their questions and express their opinions. And I just want to let you all know that it obviously, I think, had a impact as to the issues and the concerns that were raised. So again, I just want to thank for everyone coming out. Those from my ward, I actually had a lot of visitors from other wards, by the way. And also want to thank some councilmen who were able to come by for a little, Councilwoman Terry Nolwitz, and Councilwoman Susan Wilkerson, and also Councilman Corky Welch also came by, and I appreciate that. And at this time, that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Ms. Susan Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to also thank the staff that worked so hard to make such a wonderful birthday celebration on Saturday night. It was wonderful. So thanks a lot. Bye. With that, I yield.
Mr. Corky Welch.
Very briefly, I'll mirror what Susan said, especially the cleanup crew. I drove through the city downtown area about 2 o'clock the next afternoon, and it was virtually spotless, and we're still a few tables, but trash was invisible. So they did a great job of it, and they deserve a big shout out. With that, I yield.
Before I recognize Mr. Norwich, just so you know, Richard Garland asked could they leave a few tables out, so to see if the public wanted to use the tables during the week. So that's one reason why. Mr. Norwich.
Thank you. It's always good to celebrate Smyrna's birthday with 20,000 of your closest friends in the heart of Ward 3. So I do definitely appreciate all of the work of staff of community relations, parks and recreations, and public safety. They were out there en masse to make sure that it was an uneventful evening in terms of anything that was unanticipated. A friend of mine got a bee sting, and she went over to the EMT tent to see if they had any bee sting relief. They had ice, which was basically what she was doing, but they said this is about as exciting as it's gotten in terms of things that they needed to deal with was the bee sting. Everyone did a terrific job, and it was a wonderful celebration. And with that, I yield.
Ms. Andrea Bluestein.
To Saturday, for those of you who did not make it to Saturday night's event, you missed an unbelievable fireworks show. I think we could compete with a lot of other, I know we can beat the Braves and SunTrust Park, because our fireworks show was just unbelievable. And I am proud to announce that we didn't have any lost parents. Usually we have lost children, but we didn't have any lost parents or children this time, so that worked out very well. Other than that, I hope you had a good evening and try to make it for next year. Thank you.
Mr. Derek Norton.
No report this evening, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Jones, anything else? Mr. Cochran? Ms. Graham? Ms. Heather, be thy name. Anything else? Heather Corn? Okay. We have no show cause hearing tonight. We got 3 people signed up for citizens input. Alec Backery, 3459 Shawnee Trail. Comments is his topic. Scott.
My first comment tonight is I thought the city had a code on earth colors. There are 2 buildings on Concord Road, both painted pink. They don't seem to fit what I consider earth colors. I feel, and other people feel, it's an eyesore on Concord Road. It's just above King Street. I'd like the city to readdress why they haven't had enforced the color codes since in the past on other properties you have. So the city should look into that. Secondly, I'd like to bring up the term limits issue again. Marietta has stepped to the plate and put a referendum out for the people to speak. They voted in favor of it. I don't know how they would turn out here, but I think this city, since Roswell, Kennesaw, now Marietta, this council should take it seriously to have a request to have a referendum on term limits, and I hope this council finally steps to the plate to do it. Anytime you can have the citizens express their opinion on an issue, and we haven't had a referendum since the park bond in the 90s. This is a perfect example of encouraging people to express their opinion on an issue. And I hope this council, whether it's yay or nay, I'll accept that, but it should address the issue and do a referendum on town hall meetings in the near future. And I hope this council acts on it, because there are a lot of people that have expressed to me that they would be interested in voting. And that's where we need to get the apathy broken down and take up an important issue that is now going around to the different counties. And my last comment, I want to compliment the people over that attended the town hall meeting last Wednesday. I give our councilmen credit for doing that one, but it was nice to see the numbers of people get together on an issue and act on it. That'll be coming before you, I believe, in September, all according to plan, on the property next to the Reed House. But it was very well attended, and it's nice to see that. I only wish more people would come to these meetings and speak in citizens' input on different issues. But hopefully that's down the line. But I feel this is going to be a very big issue with the petition, and seeing if the council votes in favor or against them. And there's certainly going to be an interesting meeting, I believe, in September, if that's the way it goes. But I compliment those people for spending the time on that issue. Thank you.
Cynthia Lawrence, 1350 Overlook Cove, Southeast Smyrna, Georgia, 30080. Her topic is density and comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, councilmen and women, for serving. I really appreciate the sacrifices that you all have to make. I really also appreciate those wonderful pictures that we got to see of the birthday celebration. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend because I was celebrating my own 45th wedding anniversary.
Oh.
It always coincides with the city birthday.
Y'all could have come right down and just.
But I'm glad that you showed those pictures because it really kind of substantiates what I'm about to say, and that is we have a wonderful small town feel here. But unfortunately, if we continue to increase the density in our wonderful small town, it will no longer be a small town. And so those celebrations won't be the same. Now, I might not be around to see it, and hopefully you all will be, but I'd like my grandchildren to continue to grow up in this wonderful small town, and they all live here. So I would really, really appreciate if, when the subject comes up of density, that you would please consider the fact that we do need to keep a cap on how many people we can actually put in our lovely small town so it'll remain a lovely small town. And by the way, all the beautification that has gone on in Smyrna is just, I'm really proud of our little town. I think it's beautiful, and you guys have done a great job. Thank you again.
Tim Riggleston at 1115 Pinehurst Drive, Smyrna, Georgia. His topic is comments.
Yeah, just an observation. I guess it hit me because it was 2 o'clock in the morning this morning. Who is in charge of turning off the streetlights on Atlanta Road? Because they seem to turn those off at like 12 o'clock at night. And especially Saturday night, I was at Ken's Corner Grill down here. And there's nothing like watching 100 drunk people not being able to see where they're walking down Atlanta Road. I think it was like 12:15 they went off that night. And it was before last call. So I'm just saying, I don't know, I just happened to notice it last night again. It just rehashed. I thought it was just a mishap. Well, it wasn't, I don't know. Well, it was still on at the restaurant. No, I'm just saying, I know, because I just live over here off King Springs, and I can look, sometimes when my lights go off, I can see at the end of the street, the lights are on down there. So I'm just saying but I've seen it like 4 or 5 times where it went off between 12 and 12:30. No, I saw it last night, I saw it Saturday night, and I saw it Friday night,
We can have our
all
staff.
3 times. And I was just saying, I don't know if there was a mishap, but I didn't know who to call, and I happened to be coming up here.
I'll
so I
make
thought
sure
I'd
that we're
ask.
current on paying our bill to Georgia Power.
No, I don't think it
But,
has anything to do with that, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah, and I don't, it's the first I've heard of it.
It was just more of a safety issue, because a lot of the times, I don't know if you've been out that late at night on Atlanta Road over there, but several times, and I don't mean to sound sexist, but 2 or 3 women would be walking down there, and I don't want to, I guess I'm a little bit overprotective of people.
We'll try to get you,
Yeah,
find
I don't
it
know,
out.
that's all I wanted to say. I just want to say, just to maybe until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, leave them on. and shut
They
'em
should
off.
be on all night long.
We'll look into it.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
If there's no other business to be brought before this body, I declare this meeting adjourned at 7:39.